it's Norm from Tested.com. I am super excited today. Well, I'm joined by Carlos Portales. You're a member of a local FPV quadcopter, multi-rotor flying enthusiast community.
Yep, that's it.
So, if you guys don't know, this is basically racing quadcopters or flying it for fun with FPV, first-person perspective goggles. You are flying a quadcopter that you made, and viewing what the quadcopter is seeing, not by looking at it, but by looking through its eyes.
Seeing through the glasses, that's it.
So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I started doing this with regular building quads and flying them, just looking at them instead of using the FPV. But, I got a little, not bored, but I needed something new. And then all of these things start coming out, glasses and little ones that you can carry everywhere. And that's what I got hooked again and start going like crazy again all the time.
Well, let's talk about the quad first. Because you said you came from just building regular quads, and people build quads all the time. It's a very popular hobby. You don't need to buy one. You can buy one.
You can.
But you can also build one. What differentiates a quad that you fly with FPV from a quad that you build on just to fly by line of sight?
Well, mainly in the beginning, they all designed frames that were not supporting stuff like this that will hold the camera, or stuff like this will hold the camera that you use to fly. So they were more like imagine this, but without all the gear for the camera, and that was what will fly, right? But then eventually people start getting really into the FPV and using the glasses, and then the frames of the quads evolve to be able to add the little camera right here, the video transmitter up here. So they evolve a little bit. They're still pretty similar, but they evolve in order for us to be able to do FPV.
More mounting points.
Yeah, mounting points.
Because you're mounting two cameras on this.
Yeah.
You have a GoPro here, but you also have an FPV camera, which is almost like a security camera.
That's it. It's exactly that, security camera. The way it works is, generally we use these security cameras because they have a little bit better exposure change. So when you're going through a dark area to a really bright area, this does it really well. And also is a lower resolution because we have to send the video wireless, so it needs a lower resolution. You can't really send high resolution on these really small quads.
And the transmitter is just transmitting analog video. It's over radio frequency. There goes one right now. And that means it's not a digital signal. No. So when you watch it, it really is, you need a good line of sight.
Yeah. So, there is enough, depending on the frequency you use. For example, today here, most of us are using, everybody is using 5.8 frequency. That's a really popular frequency because the antennas are small. And on these little guys, you want antennas that are small. The only bad thing about it is that there's another one.
Whoa. Having a little fun there.
The only bad thing about it is that maybe they can't go through walls as much as other ones. Bad enough. For example, where we're flying here, there's a warehouse and there's some walls, but this still can go through these walls, so we can fly through the windows, fly through the walls. And then if you really need something that goes even more through buildings, let's say, or a lot of trees, then you can change frequencies like 1.9, which is bigger antennas, so it's not as portable as something like this, but you can
get more range. And also consumes different power, like more power.
Yeah, maybe, it's probably close. The main difference is just to change the frequency so you can go through more stuff, and maybe a little further, but,
And the cool thing about it being an analog transmitter and signal is that you can watch this, but someone else can watch it too. It's
open for anybody who have a receiver on the goggles, or like you can see there's also a screen with a receiver on it. You can flip through channels and just see whoever is flying.
So anyone laying down there, on a lawn chair or something, they can wear a similar pair of goggles. They're not going to interrupt your flying because they're just tapping in.
They're tapping in. Here you see you have a channel. You just change the channel and you go through all of them if we're all flying. The only issue we have is the transmitting side, because if we're on the same frequency and I'm flying and somebody else goes in and turn the same, and they happen to be on the same frequency, then I'm all of a sudden going to see their video.
And you're not watching your quad.
And then you crash.
And so it's good to have maybe a spotter or someone locked onto yours.
Generally, we're not all flying. So there's always, and every time we turn on, we say, I'm going to turn on. So generally we slow down and hover somewhere, turn on, and if everything's okay, then we keep going, kind of thing.
Now,
so,
we're at like an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Outside of San Francisco. You guys literally had to cross some train tracks to get here. There's an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
Is this kind of activity, is just like more underground type of quad flying?
I think so. I mean, I think it's getting pretty popular now. I'm enough to like, I mean, more videos come online. People are seeing these things, the small ones, the big ones. The small ones are really popular now because the racing and the possibilities you have. You can take it anywhere in a backpack and fly through trees, fly through here. And it's getting really popular. So I think it used to be really underground, still is, but eventually it's going to get to a point that a lot of people are going to want to do these because it's so exciting.
It's not that difficult to get into.
No, I mean the basic components. I mean, you can build one of these things in like half a day. You know, if you know online now, you can read everything. But you know, it's not too complicated. I mean, I feel like almost everybody can build one of these things and fly it.
And sometimes you have to build it in half a day because you crash it all the time.
Yeah.
You guys plan on leaving here maybe with not all of them intact.
No, definitely not. We bring a bunch of propellers, we bring a bunch of stuff with us because otherwise, you know, you want to keep flying. These things are generally pretty tough, but you will break the propellers. Once in a while, maybe a motor, you know, and if you're going really, really fast, you might break the frame, but it's hard to break it.
Right.
The thing is, when you do this a lot, you know, it's not too expensive, but when you start breaking things, you know, you spend some money. You have replacements all the time that you can change, and well, I'm lucky enough that I have a sponsorship, so I can get, you know, stuff. So I can be a little more risky. If something breaks, then they help me out and send me some other stuff, and so that helps. And I think it's getting so popular that they're starting to do that kind of thing, sponsorships and kind of like racing or skateboarding or things like that.
So you guys actually race?
Well, we do, yeah. Here, I mean, we practice a lot here, but eventually we'll start organizing something a little more. You know, more robust, because right now it's just a group of friends meet up here and just fly around, do a little circuit here and just go around the place. But eventually, I think, I mean, and it's happening already in some areas, but there will be organized, you know, fun events where everybody races and it's a real competition.
Right.
And even essentially, like even like they were saying, like having the audience being able to, you know, a bunch of screens, having the audience being able to see their racers.
Right, and they can amplify the transmission, and everyone in the audience is wearing their FPV.
Have if you keep escalating this, it can be like,
that's so cool.
Or even putting like, we were even talking like, if you have some kind of a fence in the middle of the circuit and the audiences are inside, and these things are flying around and you're protected with a fence, that would be like seeing these things flying towards you and then going over you, you know, it's just a lot of fun.
What type of maneuvers do you like doing? Like you fly indoors and outdoors, like going through windows or?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can do all kind of stuff. I mean, here you can go through windows, like rolling through windows. You can do loops, I mean, these things, when you start getting the hang of it, they can do crazy maneuvers. And they're really interesting maneuvers because we're used to seeing a lot of airplane maneuvers, right? But these things work differently. So you can do things that you've never seen. It seems weird when you're watching it, but it's just new stuff.
The experience of just flying with an FPV, how is that different from flying with line of sight? You have to use audio cues as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting if you've never done it before. It's kind of like your brain, when you do it more and more, your brain kind of gets a little confused because even the first time as I was flying, the first time that I start doing this, you will see yourself. And when you've been flying for a while, you'll think, oh, there's a guy there. It's like, no,
it's an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, you really get to that point, but it's just like you're outside your body. But yeah, you kind of change the way you fly. In fact, I used to fly really well, point of view, just looking at it, and now I have a harder time because I'm so used to just seeing from the camera. You know, it's kind of like your brain gets tuned with this, and it's like now it's hard to like calculate the distances without being inside the...
And there are the advantages of having a smaller quad, more maneuverable quad, and you can zip around.
Yeah, to me, it's like the size thing is just put it in a backpack, have it on the car, driving somewhere, and I say, oh, I have some time. Well, there's a forest there's nobody there, because that's important. Just always being safe and not flying in places where there's nobody. That's why we love this place. There's nobody here. And you can't hurt anybody. You know, it's just simple.
It's completely abandoned, except for other quadcopter enthusiasts. We found like props broken in the trees. There are GoPros over there, SD cards lying on the ground.
There's some. I mean, yeah. So some days everything goes well, nothing breaks, or maybe just propellers. I don't think we've been here a day without breaking at least propellers.
Yeah.
But you know, generally, in this place, we kill some of these things. You know, with big crashes, some stuff breaks because obviously the concrete and the bricks. If you're going too fast, hit one of those and it's gone.
That's thrilling. I can't wait to put on one of these goggles and watch you fly.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out and enjoy some flying.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks, man.
3, 2, 1, jump!
Tortoise in the hair, bitches!